Greetings. Tavern Talks. Time to just update, touch base, share some thoughts. Some ball, get your beverage, or get your imaginary glass if you're not having any kind of beverage. It's all good. It's been a little while, but I've posted and uploaded several times about how to check bias. Bias with the small b. We all have bias. Bias is perspective. What I'm interested in talking about, the way I'm interested in looking at this. I might want to look at this individual. Someone else might want to look at this group. Someone else might want to look at a different dynamic of this activity, this interaction, this development. We all have bias. Our sources all have bias. Both the individual reporter, so-called, or the source, the company, whether it's a member of the media, specifically talking about that. That's different from bias, where you're kind of made up your mind about things, even prejudiced against. So, it's been a while. Just a reminder, there are different ways for you, for me, to check our sources for their biases. Uploaded other videos, go watch them. I really encourage you to do that because you need to be good at discerning, being able to see through the smoke. Another way is simply to take it in and say, okay, here's a way to do it. See how they're reacting to something. For example, now, mid-July 2023, there was a movie that came out, I think the first day of it, that it opened in theaters, was July the 4th. The movie is called Sound of Freedom. The movie was produced by a small company. That company was bought, I think I've got this right, company was bought by Disney. The movie was produced in 2017, 2018, the movie's 5-6 years old. Disney had it, had the rights to it, didn't do anything with it, didn't open it. Eventually, I think it was bought back and they did crowdfunding to be able to pay for distribution for the movie to finally get into the theaters. The movie is about child sex trafficking. Based on a true story, this movie is about that. Not talking about the movie. Talking about our sources. Your sources. How are your sources reacting to this movie? The movie was produced and and then the movie starred Jim Caviezel, who had played the Passion of Christ in The Passion of the Christ, which was produced by Mel Gibson. If you know anything, you know that those names, including the one he portrayed, are opposed by most of the media, most of the Hollywood, most of them. Your sources, how are they responding to this movie? This movie is showing, based on a true story, about child trafficking, sex trafficking of children into this country. It's not even a no-brainer. Of course, you would expect every person and every media outlet to talk about it. They don't have to like it. They don't have to think it was good, but they would review it and critique it based on its merits. But source after outlet after media, mouths, or in print are repeating the line. This is QAnon. I mean, it's almost like they got a script because they keep using the same phrasing. This is QAnon. What's QAnon? This movie, almost to say that somehow child trafficking and sex trafficking doesn't happen. How do you judge your sources? How do you check your sources? How do you find out? You look at how they respond to something like this. And then you look at how they've reported on Epstein's Island, where trafficking happened. Most of them didn't report on it. Most of them covered up for it. Most of them still aren't interested in any way, shape, or form for the guests, visitors to that island. That included Bill Clinton, included Hillary Clinton, included go on. Look at how your sources are not investigating or telling the story of this movie and the underlying based on a true story. If it doesn't smell right, if their reaction doesn't seem right, that's another way you judge your sources. Why do you trust CNN when they do this instead of investigating the story? Son of Liberty 2020, mliberty2020 at gmail.com, thelibertyhub.com. They are not your friend. They want you to be their follower, but not in a follow me so you get updates. They want you to be closed-minded, willing followers of whatever they say, however they shape your brain and your understanding. If you want to be brainless, mindless, and just a follower, reactive, however they want you to be, you're home. You don't have to do any work. But if you have a brain and you do not want to be not even a sheep, that's an insult to sheep. You don't want to be a liberal progressive Democrat. You don't want to be a Chinese Communist Party member in China during the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s. You actually want to think and use your brain, and you actually believe they have to show you. If you're there, make a comment, pass this along, share it. Let's get the word out. There are different ways to check. No source is perfect, but sources that are all but deceiving. This isn't about not being perfect. Don't be deceived. Equip yourself with some tools of discernment. Hit me up with comments if you need more help on that. I've been doing it for 50 years. I'm not perfect at it, but I got skills. They don't fool me. Son of Liberty 2020, mliberty2020 at gmail.com, thelibertyhub.com, taverntalks.locals.com. See you next time.